Good morning, students. How are you all? Hope you all are fine. Okay, students. Shall we come back to our lesson? The 11th lesson about the selection process. Okay, in this selection process, we have studied about various tests and interviews also, many methods of interviews, and how they will select and they will appoint, isn't it? So, in this selection process, we are going to learn what are the factors influencing the selection process. Okay, because the selection is a process we have studied, isn't it? Many the steps available, or it we can one organization can change that one into a very simple process or very complicated a long one, maybe a short one or a long one. So we will learn what are the factors influencing this selection process. Okay, the first one is the nature of the post. Okay, so here the nature of the post may be um, maybe the lower level workers and the higher level authorities. Okay, so the higher level authorities, they may need to conduct various tests. Lower level employees, by conducting a simple interview or a group interview, they can select many group of employees. Okay, so as per the nature of the post, the selection process will vary. Then the second point is the number of candidates. Each organization may require to appoint either a very low number of candidates or a many number of employees may be posted. Okay, so maybe the clerical post, they can conduct some test and they can appoint that candidates. But if the number of candidates is very less they need, then they have to conduct various types of tests in order to reduce the number of that post. Okay, if they have received various many applications for a single post, then to cut short that number they have to conduct various tests in order to reduce the candidates. Okay, then the next one is selection policy. Selection policy and this selection process, they are interrelated. Okay, some organization they will have some tough process, some tough policy. Okay, they whether they are able to perform that particular given job, they need to, that organization will decide to conduct various tests. But some other organization, what they think, okay, by conducting a simple one test they can appoint people. So as per the organization selection policy, it will vary. Okay, the process will vary. Then the cost factor or the budget. Each organization will decide their own cost, either a low cost or higher cost will be offered to pay by a organization. Other small organization, they may not afford to pay a large amount to do the selection. Okay, so this also will vary. If they are ready to spend a large amount, then the process will be large one, long one. Okay, or if the organization decides to spend, it is not offered to pay a large amount, then they will not select a long process. Okay, then the last point is the level of education and experience and the exposure of the post. Okay, so this process also will depend upon the experience and the level of educational qualification or the exposure, okay, required for that post. For example, the higher post, maybe the CEO, chairman, principal, okay, then any that special officers, finance officers, then accounts officers, this the selection process may be very less because they need very less number of candidates, and they will select, because many people will not apply for this higher job, higher authority. Okay, so these are the factors influencing the selection process. Now let us see the importance of selection. Why this selection is important? Okay, the need. Okay, the importance of selection. First one, good talent. What is this good talent? Because every organization will think that they have to select that talented employees, talented candidates, talented persons, because only then they can increase their productivity. Their production will be increasing. If their production increases, their profit also will increase. So that good talented candidates must be appointed. Okay, then better efficiency. If they have appointed the right person in the right job, their quality of work will increase, isn't it? Then if their quality increases, they can achieve the objectives of the organization. And at the same time, the efficiency of the organization as well as the employees will increase. It will be better. Okay, that's a better efficiency. Then reduce the cost of training and development. If they have selected proper candidates for the specified job, then they do not need to provide more training for those candidates. Okay, so the cost of training and any development programs for them, that will get reduced. Okay, then without any training and development program or any workshop program, they can carry on their work. Within a short period of time, they will be able to achieve their efficiency. Okay, so the cost of training and development program will be very less, but instead they will perform the work very efficiently. Okay, the fourth point is reduce the turnover. What is this turnover? Labor turnover. That means the leaving of the employees from the organization, that will get reduced. Because if they are efficient, they will do the they will perform well, and the organization do not need to that terminate that person, because they do efficiently, and they too will not think of leaving the organization. So automatically it will reduce the turnover, labor turnover, because the organization also do not need to spend time and money or energy in order to recruit new employees. Okay, then job motivation. If the person is appointed, if a person is appointed for the right job, they are self motivated, they will work because they are appointed in the right job. So they are tempted, they are motivated to work efficiently and effectively. Okay, they think that their skills are employed in a proper place. So they will contribute more for the organization. Then other benefits, we have some other benefits also, because if the right person is employed in the right job, they know everything how to do, and what time they have to complete the work, how much quantum of work they have to complete, everything is known by them, and they perform correctly. Okay, so what is happening? There may not be any wastages in their work. They perform efficiently and effectively. Any accidents may not take place. They are clever, and they minimize the wastage and accident. Okay, so that contributes many for the organization. Okay, many benefits are there if the selection is done properly. Okay, now we will see the difference between selection and recruitment. Okay, what is selection and recruitment? Recruitment is done first. Okay, selection is done afterwards, isn't it? So, what is recruitment? We know it is one activity. They are searching the candidates. Okay, searching candidates and encourage them to apply for the job. Okay, that is the main thing. They will apply for the job. Here it is a process of selecting the suitable candidates for the job. Here they are asking them to apply. Here selecting the best candidate for the job. Okay. Here then the approach. What approach? Recruitment is a positive approach. They are asking them to apply. But we can say that it is a negative approach because some candidates will be selected, some will be removed, rejected. Okay. Then what is their main objective? Main objective is to encourage them, inviting the candidates to apply for the job. Okay, inviting the candidates to apply for the job. But here it is, they will select the most eligible candidate and they will reject the other candidates. Okay, that is their main objective. Then the sequence, the order. This is the first one, this is the second one. Okay, then the method is very, that means economical method. They do not need to spend anything. Okay, only putting advertisement in the newspaper, that's all. It is economical, but it is expensive one, because to conduct various tests, then interview, they have to spend a lot. Okay. Then any contractual relation. Here no contractual relation is established. Okay. But here there is contractual relation. Yes, contractual relation between whom? Between the employer and the employee. Okay. Then the process. What type of process? We know it is very simple process. Simply asking, putting in the advertising in a magazine. Okay, they will apply for the job. That is very simple process. It is little complex and complicated process. It is also a process only. The both here simple process. It is a complicated process. Then time required. Here we need less time. Okay, they are asking the inviting, identifying the vacancies, advertising them, so the time process is very less. But here the time process is very time consuming process. How to conduct various tests, interview, then selection, okay, then conducting medical test. So the time required is more in this selection process. Okay, then they do the placement. What is placement? They are appointing, that is called placement. Okay, that means it is a process of assigning a specific job to each and every candidate selected. Okay, they are placing the right person in the right job. Right person in the right job is called placement. Okay, what do you know about this placement? Here, that many that we already have seen, isn't it? If a better person is appointed in a better place, then they can do efficiently, effectively, isn't it? That motivates the employee themselves, isn't it? Then they can achieve the objectives of the organization. They will be providing um, they will be providing a better efficient performance, and they may avoid any labor turnover and the wastages. Okay, then you will see the principles of placement. Here the they will be thinking about first job, the next man, job first, man next. Okay, job first, man next. They will be thinking of the job, for that job which man is suitable. Okay, they will be thinking of as per the job only the person will be selected and placed. Okay, then the terms and condition, all the terms and conditions will be explained to the candidates, how they have to work. Okay, then if they do not work, they have to pay some penalties. That also should be informed to the candidates. Okay, then they have to work loyally, then loyalty and cooperation. Loyalty means honesty, and every person should work together, only then they could achieve the objective of the organization. Okay, so we have completed that the whole lesson. Okay, now I will next I will teach the third lesson for you. Okay, MBE and MBO, a management by objective and management by exception. Okay, that lesson I will teach you next. Thank you, students.